bluegrass. They're out of North Carolina. And Sand Mountain, they were out of Alabama. Jesus, I know you. I met you before. I never forget a face. That's wild. I know I bought jewelry from you before.
You look familiar.
Yeah.
He's a real good jeweler.
I was a lot thinner then. And my hair was real long. Thin, long hair. Your hair was long? My hair was long, blonde hair. Yeah. Real thin then. Thin old spindly old guy.
You know any Chadackets?
I'm going to play one right now. This is a song I wrote after get a phone call from a buddy of mine. Called telling me that his wife was leaving him, and coincidentally, she'd been engaged to me.
Coincidentally,
right before she married him, and I tried to talk him out of it. I told him, if she can do this to me, what do you think she's going to do to you, that old thing? Didn't work. He married her anyhow. I played the wedding. I did.
You got to bring in the best, baby.
Oh, I did. I played the wedding. Stood right in the front of the church there. Played Here Comes the Bride. And yeah, I threw rice at her and everything. Of course, mine was inside a can of soup. So he was pretty tore up, and I managed to get him cheered up. And then I thought, when he first called me and was crying away, I said, "Well, I told you so."
He was crying away.
Yeah, I was crying. I told you so. I told you she was going to do you wrong, and I felt really bad after I said that. So when I got off the phone with him, I immediately started trying to write him a song. And years later, even after I'd recorded the song, doing it live, almost every night, I suddenly realized the song was actually about me and her instead of him. So it had nothing to do with him at all. those things happen. It was the same story either way.
Same story either way.
Yeah. And I didn't want to use Nashville when I was writing the song. I got down to the first stanza and realized the song was going to be named after where they were. But I like to put Canadian places in my song, so it's in Nashville. I used Charlottetown, which is the capital of Prince Edward Island. So I didn't get it geographically right either. You missed the train that I was on. Into the dawn it pulled away. In just a moment I was gone, empty as a newborn day. Thought you'd come to say goodbye. Is it too much for you to cry? I almost knew you'd let me down, leaving Charlottetown. I saw this coming long ago, like thunderclouds upon the sea. You wanted someone there for show, never really wanting me. Something better came along, pretty face and you were a song. I became the latest clown, leaving Charlottetown. I saw your mother at the store, said it looked like it might rain. I said yes and nothing more, I'll likely not see her again. Tell your dad I'll miss his laugh and all the fun we used to have. He won't be seeing me around, leaving Charlottetown. I really hope you find your way, 'cause all that glitters is not gold. His new love is here to stay until yours is growing cold. When you find yourself alone in a house that's not a home, broken hearts are all that's found, leaving Charlottetown. When you find yourself alone in a house that's not a home, broken hearts are always found, leaving Charlottetown. Broken hearts like mine are found, leaving Charlottetown. Well, let's make the other ear. I don't know if they told you right where I was from, but I come from Cape Breton Island. You guys, everybody, you know where that is?
Northeast coast.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that works.
sort of. Yeah.
Cape Breton,
Cape Breton, yeah.
like W-R or R?
Breton. It's a tiny island at the top
There
of
you
Nova
are.
Scotia,
Yes.
attached to Nova Scotia by a causeway. Used to be a ferry, but they attached it with a causeway. And we've been trying to blow it up ever since 1955. But it's a very unique place in the world. The Scots landed there in 1760, and it was all the poor Scots, people that got thrown into Scotland during the clearances. And unfortunately for the Scots, in Scotland, all the poor people were the best fiddlers. They didn't. That's where they went. That's where they played the fiddle the most. Was poor farmers, and peasants. It's all they had for entertainment. And they ended up bringing this incredibly old and unique style of playing, basically at the time, pipe music on the violin, where they attempted to imitate pipes on the fiddle. And it stayed, in Cape Breton, the violin has pretty well remained unchanged for 200 and some years. It was so isolated even after they got here that no outside influences affected the music. So it's one of the oldest. It is probably the oldest living form of fiddle music in North America. And then the French came, the Irish came to the eastern seaboard of the U.S. All these other massive styles of music all branched off out of all of that. And but if you go to Cape Breton, you can still sort of hear the original way it sounded 500 years ago. They played this way. My father was a fiddler. And there's two sides to the island. They call the east side and the west side. The west side is where all the real Gaels settled. All the Highlanders started the coal mines, fishing. And just north of them, where I'm from, is where all the French Acadians went after the expulsion. Some of them went to Louisiana, some fled to Nova Scotia, the coast. So the music got influenced by them as well. There's this weird hybrid of music in Shettycan that's part Scottish, part French, and part Mi'kmaq Indian.
With
Mi'kmaq, First Nations people up there. They are musical. So when they saw the fiddle, they started playing it too. They had another take on it. They played our music, our tunes, and have their own. So they played Scottish melodies the way they interpreted them, right? So it's a really interesting mixture of stuff. And as time went on, we started to draw music from the great Celtic composers, like J. Scott Skinner and Neil Doe and William Marshall, and always playing it in this old style. So when we go over to Scotland, the Scots are fascinated by us because they all play this music like it's classical. Because all the poor people left, and the English came in, and the Scots who remained, who played the violin, all did it classically. So they're like, when you hear the music over there now, it sounds like Yehudi Menuhin playing it. It doesn't sound like Buddy McMaster, right, or whatever. So this is a set of tunes my father played. It's ancient. It's out of the Marshall collection, I think. But they're difficult tunes too. They're not for the faint-hearted. A lot of fiddlers won't touch these tunes. It's just too hard to play. much story behind this. It came out by accident. One night when I got home off this massive tour I'd been on, I went from home to Vancouver, to Mississippi, to Ontario, and back to Nova Scotia. It was 70 days.
Oh my God. 48. New York.
52 shows in 70 days. Something was absolutely ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, and I was exhausted. I kept hearing on the radio all through Canada. I think during that trip there was 3 soldiers, returning soldiers from Afghanistan and elsewhere, who had committed suicide. And then when I got down driving through the States, every state I drove through, I heard a similar report. And then I found that there was 22 soldiers a day committing suicide in the United States.
Inside the U.S.? Not in Afghanistan?
Ridiculous amount. Like, it's just ridiculous. They're losing thousands of people a year here. And we're 1/10 of that. It's the same in Canada. And at the time, I was involved with a soldier who was about to walk across Western Canada with a 120-pound ruck on her back, and walk from
Her back?
on her back, yeah, walk from Saskatchewan all the way to Chilliwack, BC, over the rock. When she did it, completed. She had walked all the way across Canada. She did it 3 legs, and she did it just to bring awareness for PTSD. And I was so exhausted. I got home that night. I don't know what, and it was. I had this guitar. I just bought this, or it was given to me actually. Stonebridge gave me this guitar that trip, and I got it home. I hadn't played it yet, and I took it out of the case, and I played this figure here, and the song just came out so fast I couldn't get it wrote down. So I recorded it on my iPad and put it on Facebook, and a week later there was 1 million hits on it. About a month after we did it, the same week we did a lyric video for it, and that got 4 million hits on YouTube. And so it went viral on me. Anyhow. Got home from the service as the spring began its turn. 12 long months away. Folded up his uniform with the medals tucked inside. Started living for today. The president could not find him, nor could his wife and kids. He was there, but he was gone. Soon his only comfort was a bottle and his gun. Something right that went so wrong. And the silence keeps on coming as the movie plays again. You can smell that yellow dust and death flying on the wind. And we thought the war was over, but the headlines do reveal that another soldier died today on the hometown battlefield. He sits outside the courthouse with his pant legs tucked away. No one knows his name. One wrong step there in the sand put him where he is today. One more just the same. All his memories live there in this place below his knees. Back when he was old. But that IED didn't just relieve him of his legs. It blew apart his soul. And the silence keeps on coming as the movie plays again. You can smell that yellow dust and death hanging on the wind. And we thought the war was over, but the headlines do reveal that another soldier died today in the hometown battlefield. And if you're wearing loafers, you ain't walked the burning sand, and you ain't never had to shoot another living man. It don't matter if we won, it don't matter if we lost. They were following their orders, no matter the cost. So I remember what they've given when I see my flag unfurled, free against the sky. And the way we seem to lose them when they get back to the world. Could someone tell me why? That the silence keeps on coming as the movie plays again. You can smell that yellow dust and death flying on the wind. And we thought the war was over, but the headlines do reveal that another soldier died today on the hometown battlefield. Yeah, we pray the war is over, but the headlines do reveal that another soldier died today on the hometown battlefield. Can't leave on this side. Play us. Let's have a tune, right? Let's do it.
What kind of tune?
Let's play those jigs that Dave likes.
Can I play too?
Yes. I'll come to you, Dave. You get happy, it'll all move to you. Tell them where this come from. I was actually really surprised you did this. So it's not easy.
Little story. Little story here.